Welcome back to 2 Owls in a Trench Coat. I'm in Hearts 3, and today we are back in Dragon Age Origins. Last time we did Something Wicked, a quest that was in the alienage that we kind of got during Unrest in the alienage. Sorry, I was distracted by the maid sliding in the background. But anywho, we did Something Wicked, we kind of settled our affairs, I guess. I mean, I sold some things in my inventory. 83 out of 120. I mean, I guess there's some more things that I could sell. I'm not strong enough to wield that. Yeah, that's for warrior hands only, and I'm not strong enough for that either. I mean, but our blade does a decent amount of damage, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, today, though, we are doing the Landsmeet. It is time. All the work that we've done up to this point, ignoring that. The Landsmeet. Go to the Landsmeet. The Landsmeet has been called. Arl Eamon has gone to the Landsmeet chambers. You should meet him there as soon as you can. So after we finish the Unrest in the Alienage, and we've gotten our evidence. Where is it? Back in our inventory. Plot items. Oh, we should probably give these gifts. Get them out of our inventory. Orders, topside, slaver documents. Correct. Alright, so these documents authorize the removal of elves from Denram's alienage. These seals bear the seal of Terra Loghain Mactier. So, while we were going through the alienage, when we defeated the Tevinter mage, I cannot remember what his name is, and his name should be striked from the records, lost in time. But we found papers on his corpse, because you could do that as well. You didn't have to accept his ritual, and you didn't have to let him go with the elves. You can kill him and take the papers that way too. So, anywho, he had papers that had the seal of Loghain, and that is prime evidence. If you did the quests and you've gotten all the evidence, you've helped the people, you've gotten the allies that you didn't even want, but you've got them anyway, you have a better chance of winning the Landsmeet, because that's really what's going on here. You have to win the Landsmeet in order for people to follow you and not really put up a fight when it comes to, hey, we shouldn't concentrate on this, we've really got the Blight to worry about. To stir them away from civil war. Then there's also having a Nora as, you can have a Nora be, support you during the Landsmeet, but if you do most of the quests, I feel like you really don't need her support. So, note. Going to the Royal Palace and completing the Landsmeet is a point of no return. We are entering endgame stuff now. This is literally it. So, with that being said, you will no longer be able to interact with anyone in Redcliffe, so that means trading and quests. None of it. So make sure that you finish those before you come here. Before you start the Landsmeet. Make sure those are done. If you want them finished, make sure they're finished. Also, I think I've killed all the dragons that I need to. Make sure that's done as well, because it'll throw you for a loop. So Flemeth has to be killed, and so does Andraste the dragon. Both of them have to die in order for, if you want the story to pan out in a certain way. I'm going for a familiar run through, somewhat familiar run through, then yes. Then I already made sure that those two were defeated. I think we're ready to go. I think I've said all that I've had to say. Make sure you finish your quests. Make sure the dragons are dead. Make sure you've done your run through of Redcliffe. If you didn't do quests, pray, I guess. I mean, the Maker bestows favor when you really think he wouldn't. Alistair is automatically locked to the party because he has to be at the Landsmeet. So, I guess we're
Yes.
doing the party.
Indeed.
Yeah, Gax King. Gax King? Be unbound. Oh, okay, we've got level ups. I just checked everybody and no one had a level up, and now we walk outside and everyone has a level up. So let me handle that and then we'll get started. Okay, so we need to make our way out. Yeah, we need to make our way out. I feel like I've already sold all that I could. Or that I should. If anything, you can go back to camp at some point and do some more, like some last minute enchantments. Sell some things. Go to, what is it? If you need more elf root, there's a never ending supply in the Brazilian forest. He always has some. I can't remember what his name is. Ferrothorn. I think that's what his name is. He has a never-ending supply of elf root. So you can always go back to the Brazilian forest and get some from there before anything really kicks off. I'm pretty sure I have enough, though.
I am not surprised it has come to this. And Alistair, if you were even remotely worthy of being called Marik's son, you would already be in the Landsmeet, now wouldn't you? You have torn Ferelden apart to oppose the very man who ensured you were born into freedom. But do not think you will get past me to desecrate the Landsmeet itself. The nobles of Ferelden will confirm my lord as regent, and we can finally put this to rest once you are gone.
Okay, so you see, I have her still alive. The other ways that you can get her alive and kind of cheese and get her sword multiple times is to kill her when you first meet her, but also be captured, and then you can meet her back here and then kill her again. So in this, we can persuade her and say, do you really not see what Logan has become?
I have had so many doubts of late. Logain is a great man, but his hatred of Orlais has driven him to madness. He has done terrible things. I know it. But I owe him everything. I cannot betray him. Do not ask me to.
Then let me stop him. You know it's the only way.
I never thought duty would taste so bitter. Stop him, Warden. Stop him from betraying everything he once loved. Please, show mercy. Without Logain, there would be no Ferelden to defend.
Ooh, she disappeared. Area unlocked, Landsmeet chamber. So we're in the Royal Palace. I don't think we've never been to the Royal Palace up to this point, so this is new? I mean, it just looks like a bigger chamber than the one in Redcliffe's estate. So a few things, before we get started, a few things that could influence what happens next. Having Alistair hardened or unhardened affects what happens next. Asking him and Honora to marry each other also affects what happens next. So keeping that in mind, we can move forward to the middle doors, where the game saves itself. Okay. Here we go.
My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Logain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it?
A fine performance, Aemon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings. Here we have the puppeteer.
Logain.
Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? What do they offer you? How much is the price of Ferelden honor now?
Even though we may have gotten certain allies on our side because of the quests that we've done, we also need to win the vote and the debate by choosing the proper speech checks. Because like I said, it's speech checks. So with that, we can persuade and say, the Blight is the threat here, not Orlais.
There are enough refugees in Mybanor now to make that abundantly clear.
The South is fallen, Logain. Will you let Darkspawn take the whole country for fear of Orlais?
The Blight is indeed real, Wolf. But do we need Grey Wardens to fight it? They claim that they alone can end the Blight, yet they failed spectacularly against the Darkspawn at Ostagar. And they asked to bring with them 4 legions of Chevaliers. And once we open our borders to the Chevaliers, can we really expect them to simply return from whence they came?
So you sold Ferelden citizens into slavery to fund your war.
What's this? There is no slavery in Ferelden! Explain yourself!
There is no saving the alienage. Damage from the riots has yet to be repaired. There are bodies still rotting in their homes. It is not a place I would send my worst enemy. There is no chance of holding it if the Blight comes here. Despite what you may think, Warden, I have done my duty. Whatever my regrets may be for the elves, I have done what was needed for the good of Ferelden.
Did you let Hal torture citizens for the good of Ferelden?
How took my only son? The things done to him, some are beyond any healer's skill.
Hal was a grown man responsible for his own actions. He will answer to the Maker for his crimes, as must we all. But enough of this. I have a question for you, Warden. What have you done with my daughter?
What are you talking about?
You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself. Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. My father is no longer the man you know. This man is not the hero of Riverdane. This man turned his troops aside and refused to protect your king as he fought bravely against the Darkspawn. This man seized Kaelin's throne before his body was cold and locked me away so I could not reveal his treachery. I would have already been killed, if not for this Grey Warden.
So in this moment, if you didn't tell Honora that you would support her, she would betray you. And since it's happened it doesn't happen really early, but it happens early in the planning of the Landsmeet. So right when she comes back, or right when you get back from captured, you have the option to talk to her, or she asks you to talk to her, and you can either say that you're going to support her, or you're not. And if you don't, then she's going to betray you. If this happens all the time whenever you try to win without Honora. So while we're sitting here looking at, while everyone is gasping, I guess, winning without Honora is very possible. You have to complete the Lost Templar and the Tortured Noble before the Landsmeet, and then either free the Arl of Denerim or complete the Trial of the Crows, and then focus on the Blight as your argument in the first round, the Tortured Dungeons of Hal's Tortured Dungeons in the second round, and then the poisoning of Arl Eamon in the third round. Completing the Lost Templar always has the Grand Cleric denounce Logain, and then Alsvana votes because that's her brother, and then Sigrid, and then Wolf. And if done successfully, Logain will bring up the topic of Honora, and then Honora will show up and she'll betray you. But also, what I meant to say before we started this is that never bring up the argument of Ostagar or Alistair's claim to the throne, because it's always really weird because it will always lead to you losing the vote. Kind of really no matter what. Even if you end up winning the debate, kind of. So even though you might end up winning the vote, you lose the debate. Especially if you follow by accusing Logain of Ostagar, treason at Ostagar by leaving the king and everyone behind. And that's because I think there's no evidence to back it up. So you need something with evidence each point to back everything up. That's why we live with the slaver document. But we didn't leave with the slaver documents. That's why we used the slaver documents. And then we made sure that we completed quests. And with the completed quests, we also had people to back up the claims. It's a great debate, people. So I guess we'll just put it simply. The Queen speaks the truth.
So, the Warden's influence has poisoned even your mind, Honora. I wanted to protect you from this. My lords and ladies! Our land has been threatened before! It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
The Warden. I'm with the Warden. Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden. The Western Hills throw their lot in with the Wardens. Make her help us.
I stand by Logain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
You could say, the Landsmeet is against you, Logain. Step down gracefully.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once, before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me?
Call off your men, and we'll settle this honorably.
Then, let us end this. I suppose we both knew it would come to this. When we first met at Ostagar, I would never have thought so, but Ostagar seems like it happened in another lifetime to someone else. A man is made by the quality of his enemies. Marek told me that once. I wonder if it's more a compliment to you or me. Enough. Let the Landsmeet declare the terms of the duel.
It shall be fought according to tradition. A test of arms, in single combat until one party yields. And we, who are assembled, will abide by the outcome.
Will you face me yourself, or have you a champion?
If you have Alistair marrying Honora, do not have him fight Logain. Absolutely do not have him fight Logain. Because that will make what happens next all the more difficult. So, since I'm not marrying Honora, then I will fight this duel myself.
It is you or me the men will follow. So, let us fight for it. Prepare yourself.
We must not exhaust our supplies. It is begun. Very well. As you say, I shall do it.
You're no match for me!
Dang, man.
Very
That
well.
war cry of
It
his is
begun.
no joke.
I underestimated you, Warden. I thought you were like Kalen, a child wanting to play at war. I was wrong.
Why am
There's
I
a
covered in
strength
blood?
in you that I have not seen anywhere since Marek died. I yield.
And now comes the smaller fork in the road. We can either kill him for what he's done, or we can accept his surrender. Use a person that's not going to marry Nora to kill Logain. And if he kills Logain, he cannot marry Nora. And the same goes for the human noble origins. Back to having Alistair be your champion. If you have Alistair be your champion, he nods at the warden and then promptly murders Logain. You can't murder him because it's a duel, but he kills him. Oh, right. And I'm also forgetting something. If you accept his surrender, Alistair will leave the party. Gosh, I wish there was some save points in here. Alistair will leave the party. No, it doesn't even matter if you were trying to put him on the throne. He will outright leave. And you'll never see or hear from him again. And that kind of sucks if you are in a relationship with Alistair. So, in this, I'll say, you'll die for what you've done.
Wait, there is another option.
Riordan.
The Tairn is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining.
You want to make him a warden? Why?
There are 3 of us in all of Ferelden, and there are compelling reasons to have as many wardens on hand as possible to deal with the Archdemon.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not. Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you. How can we simply forget that?
Oof. There's a lot happening. Okay. Since we didn't have Alistair be our champion, Riordan shows up, and he tells us that we should have another Grey Warden for some strange reason. But here's how it goes, and here's why it's so. So Alistair will always be infuriated by the suggestion, and will leave the party permanently if the player goes through with it. You can only recruit Logain if Anora is supported as queen, or you have Anora and Alistair marry. If Alistair is named king and he does not wed Anora, he will order Logain's death by royal decree. If you have Logain become a Grey Warden, he will replace Alistair in the party. So there's many branching paths going on right now. And it happens in such a small place with no save points that it gets frustrating. So if you want Alistair to stay around, you have to I think he has to marry Anora. And with him marrying Anora, that puts him out of the party, but Logain stays. But that still leaves you with only 3 Grey Wardens to fight the Blight. There's nothing you can do. There's always going to be only 3 of you. So don't think that going through with the joining for Logain will automatically give you 4 people. Alistair and Logain cannot be in the party together, and that's just the way it is. Alright, but this is only one small hurdle. Oh yeah, and if you pick Alistair will, he's not marrying Minora, he'll leave Ferelden. So there's that as well. Even though there's a whole blight that we're trying to fight, Alistair just up and leaves. I feel like I can't remember if that's changes if he's hardened or unhardened, but that feels like so, it's just childish of him. Like, there's a whole sacred duty that you have to do, because Grey Wardens stop a blight, Grey Wardens fight during the blight, and then you're a Grey Warden and you leave because you didn't get your way, or the person, like, I understand it, like, Loghain killed Duncan, or his actions killed Duncan, and everything that we've gone through this entire game has been because of Loghain. All this heartache, all the pain, all the people hunting us, all the finger pointing, all the people being killed in the back of the Pearl because Loghain couldn't. I feel like he just couldn't own up to what he did. Since I'm siding with Alistair, say no. Loghain has to die for his crimes.
You can't do this. My father may have been wrong, but he is still a hero to the people.
Honora, hush. It's over.
Stop treating me like a child. This is serious.
Daughters never grow up, Honora. They remain 6 years old with pigtails and skinned knees forever.
Father.
Just make it quick, Warden. I can face the Maker knowing that Ferelden is in your hands.
And then you could still ask Alistair to do this, but nope. I can do this. Very well. Oh, do y'all want to, like, back up? Where did I get that sword? I said back up!
So it is decided. Alistair will take his father's throne.
Wait, what? No. When did this get decided? Nobody's decided that. Have they?
He refuses the throne.
Why did he just draw
Everyone here
crossbow?
has heard him. I think it's clear then. He abdicates in favor of me.
I hardly think you're the appropriate person to mediate this, Honora. Warden, will you help us?
Okay, and with that, we become Kingmaker. Okay, so now that one branching path is officially closed, we move on to the other. Who's going to be the ruler of Ferelden? So, if you intend to make Alistair king and also also pursuing, going through with a positive relationship with him, regardless of whether you really intend to have him marry Honora or not, you should really convince him that becoming king is a good idea. Using, like, cunning, persuasion, use the tools that the Maker gave you, please. Otherwise, when you get to the Landsmeet cutscene at Arl Eamon's estate, you will disprove with -2. If you hardened Alistair, he has to be king. There is no getting around it. Yeah, don't let him duel Loghain, because then he'll automatically be king. And that's if you didn't want him to be king. So if you're going to harden him, you have to follow through with the king line nonetheless. With an unhardened Alistair, it's a bit more... You can bend it and still be in a relationship with him. I need to talk to Alistair first.
Strange. I feel like I'm back at the Abbey, trying not to get chosen last for the sparring teams.
Do you think you're ready to be king?
Are there people who are ready for that sort of thing? But I guess if it comes down to it, I'll do my best. Oh, I think my stomach just twisted up in a knot or something.
I want to talk to Honora as well.
Certainly.
What makes you a better choice than Alistair?
Surely that's not a serious question. I have been the ruler of this nation in all but name for the last 5 years. I can lead Ferelden. Alistair can't. If you give him the crown, then you've only brought us a brief pause in the Civil War. It will resume again at the first opportunity, and it won't end until a new dynasty holds power.
I'm ready to choose.
As the arbiter of this dispute, what is your decision? Who will lead Ferelden?
I'm going to persuade and say Alistair will be king, and I'll rule beside him.
Really? You will? This is where I wake up, usually.
Or everyone points and laughs because I have no clothes on.
Honora,
Wow.
the Landsmeet has decided against you. You must now swear fealty to our king, and relinquish all claim to the throne for yourself and your heirs.
If you think I will swear that oath, Eamon, you know nothing of me.
With this, we can say, Honora, be reasonable.
Reason clearly had nothing to do with your choice, Warden.
We cannot leave Ferelden in a state of civil war. We must have unity. If she will not swear fealty to you, Alistair, and renounce her claim to the throne, she is a threat to us all.
What do you want me to do exactly? Kill her? I can't do that. I guess... put her in the tower for now. Lock her up. Maybe we can find somewhere to send her. Later.
Thank you, Alistair. You show me mercy that I would not have shown you.
Very well, then. Guards, take her away. Your Highness, would you address the Landsmeet?
Oh, that would be me, right? I never knew him, but from all I've heard of my father, what defined him was his commitment to protecting this land.
Get to the blight already.
I was getting there. Anyway, the Blight, yes. I may be Merrick's son, but I am also a Grey Warden. I took an oath. I swore I would stand and fight the Darkspawn, no matter the cost to myself.
Wow.
Can't break that oath just to wear the crown. I have to go with my fellow Warden to face the Blight. When the Blight is over, I'll come back and take up my duties, whatever they are, as king. Until then, I think Al Eamon will have to be my regent.
Then I can do Merrick's memory no less honor than you do. I accept. And may the Maker bless your efforts against the Darkspawn.
My fellow Grey Warden will, I hope, take Loghain's place as the leader of my armies. Shall we finish this thing together?
With this, we can say, I could do no less, my king.
Everyone, get ready to march. It's going to take all of Ferelden's strength to survive this blight. But we will face it, and we'll defeat it! We'd better get going. Ferelden is depending on us.
Whew, man, and that ends all that. But we aren't done yet.
So, strange story. Tell me if you've heard this one. This fella gets made king, and then gets engaged, all on the same night.
You aren't angry, are you?
I'm not thrilled with the idea of being king. I never wanted it, I told you that. Yet here I am. Not much to be done now. I suppose I'm more curious about, you know, the engagement. I like the idea, but are you sure?
Am I sure I want to marry you? Yes.
Oh, I guess that saves me having to ask then. Phew. They'll expect an heir, you know. With the taint in our blood, it's hard enough for a Grey Warden to have a child on their own. For two of them, every Grey Warden I knew who had children had them before they took the joining. Having an heir might not be possible.
Well, it won't be for lack of trying.
That's an excellent point. Good thing we got started when we did, huh? I suppose this is something we'll just have to deal with later. My coronation isn't going to happen for some time yet, and we've still the Darkspawn to fight. Al Eamon has left for Redcliffe, and he says the armies have almost finished gathering there. We should go to Redcliffe as soon as possible. If we don't deal with the Archdemon soon, it'll get cranky, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, nobody wants a cranky archdemon. So, new quest, the final battle. We're done. We finished the Landsmeet. And no matter how you did it, how you finished it, well, I'm still under the effects of that war cry. You either A, have Honora rolling by herself or Alistair rolling by himself. B, you married to either Honora or Alistair and Honora married to each other. Or C, Loghain is a Grey Warden, and Alistair has fled the country, or became king. Either way, he's either out of your party or out of the country. No, he's still out of the party, no matter where he is. You get, I'm trying to remember, it's not a level up, I didn't get a level up, but I got 1 attribute point and then 1 talent point, so you can spend those. Okay, but we are done with the Landsmeet, so all there's left is to go with what we've done and how we've done it, is to go to Redcliffe and march with the armies to wherever the final battle is going to be. So let's look at that. Oh, now it's changed. It's the final onslaught now. Head to Redcliffe to prepare your army. You've gathered your armies. Now it is time to head to Redcliffe. Where your army assembles, it seems the Darkspawn are heading that way and are poised to attack there. Oh, so our armies are going to Redcliffe because it looks like they're going to attack it? Alright, so... Oh, Riordan's gone. And so is Alistair. Is he already there? Alright, but that is all the time that we have for today. I hope my ramblings made some sort of sense. The Landsmeet, though not a difficult quest, is also a long quest where you cannot save. So if you're trying to go for, there's an achievement to get all the endings, to unlock all the endings. You'll need either multiple playthroughs or positioning your saves and what you do in those saves close together enough where you can easily backtrack and then maybe do a quest. So I'm pretty sure you can do Alistair's, like doing Alistair's quest the latest possible. Like maybe if you can get it before Unrest in the Alienage, or if you can't get it as late as Unrest in the Alienage, maybe doing it around, I guess, when you first get to Denrim. So before Rescue the Queen. Yeah, so if you can't get it before Unrest in the Alienage, like right before it, then maybe Rescue the Queen. Then that gets you close enough where you can revert saves or do multiple saves where it doesn't mess up your save file or mess up how your save file is organized. Because since I can understand trying to do multiple playthroughs within one save file of a character, like one character save file. I understand how like infuriating or confusing that can be. Trying to go back and be like, well, is this the good playthrough? Or is this the one where I tried to get that one weapon, but I couldn't figure out how to do it really? And or is this the one where I did it? Is this the true playthrough, or is this the true playthrough? I understand that. So getting everything close together as possible if you want to go for the multiple routes and going for that achievement. Pardon my achievements folder. Both romantic. Oh yeah, perfectionist. So across all playthroughs, discovered all possible endings. I have not, because I have never made Loghain a Grey Warden, and I know that is one of the playthroughs. I think that's literally the only one that I need. But if I do that, I can't have Alistair in my party. But I guess I could just do that for the sake of getting the achievement. You do go for an achievo. That is really what it is. Okay, so next time, I'm pretty sure it's just the final battle. That's literally it. And I guess I can show the multiple endings. So I can't show all the multiple endings, but I can show the endings that we have to work with. And that might be a little bit of a stretch. It just depends on how much time it takes, because that's literally what we're up against when it comes to showing multiple playthroughs and everything. But it takes so long to get to certain points, and then you can't save before doing a certain thing because of the way the story is structured out. So, if any case, maybe 2 videos, or maybe just 1. Just depends on how everything pans out and everything. But I do like showing multiple endings and everything, if I can. So, next time, the end. The final fight. We're gonna march to Redcliffe, and we're going to defeat the Archdemon. So, yeah. Until next time.